Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your guy, John Tell. What's up, Meg?
Shoot, nothing, nothing. Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. Grand risings, grand risings. It's windy as heck outside.
Is it? Yo, Grand Rising, everybody. Yeah, when I checked the temperature this morning, it said 3 degrees.
Yes, honey, if your nose is running, it is going to freeze today.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yeah, no, for real. My front window was frozen shut.
Yes,
Like,
I we should
I
we should
gotta,
show the picture. It was absolutely insane. I was like, is that inside your house?
for real, let me find the picture. I know I sent it to you. I'm gonna find it to show everybody because y'all, I know from Chaz, shout out to Chaz Neal, one of our other correspondents here on the Leah Black Independent Media, was in Minnesota. He was hit with tons of wind chills that made it feel like you were actually in negative 40-degree temps. So that was just ridiculous. Yeah, shout
Yes.
out to Chaz. Tag his ass up in this so we can get him up on this thing. So check out this. This was my window this morning.
It looks a little chilly to me.
Just a little bit chilly.
Window is calling for help. Like,
Just a little bit chilly
help!
really out in this bitch.
I'm surprised it didn't break the window.
Um, let's not wish that upon us.
No, I wouldn't even power of words. It's definitely not going to break. It's warm and peacefully made. It's solid. It's sturdy. We got
Yeah, I love you.
it.
No, but yeah, no, seriously, everyone be careful because there was a huge uh, winter advisory alerts and wind chills everywhere across the country, really. There was, even in the South, there was frost and such. So I just want everyone to be well, be careful this holiday season, whatever holiday you are celebrating, whether it's Kwanzaa or whether it is Hanukkah or whether it is Christmas. We want you to know that we love and appreciate you here at the Leon Block, but we also want you to just to have a safe holiday,
And stay
whatever holiday.
warm.
Yeah, seriously. Um, I don't know what I haven't checked the weather in a while actually. Like check. You know what I mean? Like I usually do. However, they are saying it's going to get a little crazy from last time I heard. Um,
Yes.
I know you check the weather more than I do, Meg, so you let me know.
Yes, I've been checking the weather for you and myself just because I'm one of those people that would walk outside in shorts and it'd be like freezing outside. So I'm trying to be more responsible, checking the weather. And so I've been aware of how it's freezing to death outside. But today it's 10 degrees here in Manchester.
Mm.
The high is 17, the low is 13, but it's 10 right now. So hopefully everybody's warm out
Well,
there with their hot chocolate.
right now they were wrong about that, but I digress.
Right.
But yeah, I checked this morning. It said 3. I said, oh sheesh. Um,
Heck no.
yeah, but again, I want to wish everyone a happy holidays. We want to wish everyone here a happy holidays from the Leon Block to you. Uh, on a light note, because we are going to get to excuse me, more of a heavier note here.
Breaking news. Trigger warning.
Right, major trigger warning. This is via Black official page via Instagram, and this took place in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This black man was castrated, lynched, beaten, and the police have dismissed it as a suicide. How many more black bodies will they continue to say committed suicide when the perpetrators are their own kin, white supremacists? So what impact does the Emmett Till lynching act have when our lynchings are ruled as suicide? None, because they knew what they were doing when they passed that act to begin with. They just rule it as suicide when clearly it is not.
Right.
So,
Talk about it. Especially in the South. Especially all over the world, to be honest with you, because I mean, from LA to, yeah, it's all over that just deaths are being, ruled different things than what they truly are. And that's more for cover up.
yep. I want to warn y'all that this picture is graphic, but I want to show y'all because it's important for people that needs to see this. There's no way
You
that
must
this
be
person there's no way this person could have committed suicide. His head is right there, the rope is right there, and his body's hanging. Like this was clearly uh, a lynching, and he was castrated. So you mean to tell me he did that to himself and then he hung himself?
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. We need to to release this information. They're trying to call it a suicide. So Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. We encourage you to send no request or reach out to the police chief and find out what's going on. Demand answers. Because remember, we put them in those seats. Those are our seats. We put them there. They're sitting there temporarily. So this family and this person definitely deserves answers as to what happened. To me,
Right.
standpoint,
What was that?
legal standpoint.
Damn, you're breaking up a little bit. It
Oh,
says Oklahoma City police responded to a report of a body dangling from a tree this morning. The incident occurred in the vicinity of Northwest 23rd Street and Northwest 36th Street next to I-44. It is still unknown whether it is due to suicide or homicide. The person's identity has not yet been revealed. What's that?
I know where I-44 is. Being
Really?
from Missouri. Yeah, it's the main highway. Like the 83. Thank you, Katie.
Mm-hmm. And this was via, again, Instagram. I want to go ahead and get into the other story from this page that we did want to talk about. Actually, I want to get into something else that they did talk about as well, because in 2022 alone, there have been 4 lynchings that we know of, and only 2 names have been released. 3 of the lynchings were dismissed as suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically, Black people are the least likely group to hang themselves because of the historical use of lynching against Black people, let alone castrating themselves while hanging with their hands tied. These are deliberate attacks, and it's time to stand up and fight back.
Right. And that number I just posted is the Oklahoma City Police Department.
This year alone, we also here, I'll put the number up. We also witnessed a white supremacist deliberately target Black shoppers in Buffalo, and that was a lynching in itself.
Right.
10 people. Yet white supremacy has still not yet to be outlawed. They instead, Department of Homeland Security issued a warning that all oppressed groups, anyone that's non-white and non-supremacist, could run the risk of becoming attacked. That's all they said. There's no defense for our people. When people are being hunted, ravaged, and lynched, it is dismissed as a suicide and justice never comes. Lynchings have not stopped in this country. They are covered up or perpetrated by KKK cops in our cities across the country. That was via Chairman Joshua Turner, official.
Sheriff Johnson having some technical difficulties. If you could hang with us for a second.
Very true. Statistically, really rare for a Black man to hang himself. Very true. So I want to get into this story here that Meg actually brought to my attention. She'll be right back. The Holocaust, the Black Holocaust, continues even today through legislation, policy, and economic disenfranchisement, causing gun violence, lynchings, police murders, miseducation, and etc., with an innumerable amount of victims being lynched every day. This country still uses Willie Lynch's letter as its way to subjugate and govern Black people. And if you watched The Urban Conservative with Chaz and I, you know that we've discussed the Willie Lynch letter and its effects in detail. Meg, you know, we always here at the Leon Block, we gonna have some technical difficulties. It is what it is. But shout out to StreamYard for providing great coverage. Nonetheless, it is the best service to
Yes.
use. We cannot sit back and ignore hands stained in black blood and join hands calling out our oppressors when you too scarred the backs of our ancestors and fought to keep your own boot on our necks. We are not bound together by our histories of oppression and trauma for how we can the oppressed ever find commonality with their oppressor. All oppression, hate, and bigotry is a disgrace. Have felt this since the early 7th century. We empathize with all oppressed groups. We will not negate the truth for the comfort of anyone. We as Black people empathize with all oppressed groups, yet who can truly empathize with the Black experience? This is not a message of hate. This message of saying, do not ignore the blood on your hands, for it requires recompense. So this was via Chairman Joshua Turner Official on Instagram. Now, check this out. Again, this is a trigger warning to anyone watching. That's So this is not. Where is the story? Give me one moment here. That's not it. Is this it? Nope. Maybe it's this one. Yep. Hold up. Nope, this isn't it either. Excuse me. Sorry, everyone. Where's that story?
Which one are you talking about?
The one where the man was beaten by the cop who was smiling.
Oh, I just seen that. Hold on just a second. I just resent it to you in the chat.
Awesome sauce.
Teamwork makes a dream work.
You already know what it is. All right, let me get to this really quick, y'all. One moment. All right, again, trigger warning, everyone. A homeless Black veteran was beaten savagely by police for sleeping in his car. Officer K. Anderson was caught smiling after beating him without cause. Dalvin Gadsden, an unarmed homeless Army combat veteran, was stopped by police for allegedly not properly displaying his license plate. Once the KKK cops approached the vehicle, they accused Dalvin of a DUI citing the smell of weed as the cause. After which the KKK cops all beat on him savagely while smiling without cause, while accusing him of assaulting officers. This Black man was beaten simply because these Klansmen in blue uniforms run and badges believe that they can. Why? Because Black lives still do not matter in this country. Okay, everyone.
Wow.
For DUI. All right, so stand up, turn around, hands on your back. No, I'm not. You're about to stand up. Victor 915. He's assaulting me. I'm not assaulting you, bro. I got ready. I'm fighting you, bro. You're under arrest. I'm not hitting you, my dog. Hey. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. All right, let me get up. Let me get up. You ain't getting up. Hand on your back now. What the now? You got to move. All right. What the do, bro? Hey, don't kill. Get on your back now. I'm trying. Yep, you're under investigation for a DUI. All right, so stand up.
Under investigation for a DUI
So
because
for a DUI, right?
he smoked weed in his car, and he's homeless, and he's an Army veteran. Again, as you can see, they beat on him, laughing calmly and saying, "You're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back." Yet they had his hands. They had his like. What is he supposed to be? How can he? This is what they did to him.
That is.
And he fought for this country. He fought for this country. Colorado Springs, y'all. Dalvin Gadsden is his name, and as far as I can see, he still is alive. These are the whatever you want to call them. The officers involved, though. The officer that was pictured in the photo that was caught smiling, brandishing his knuckles after he beat this man to a bloody pulp. His name is Officer K. Anderson. And this is him right here, showing his knuckles and smiling after they beat this man to a bloody pulp. So take action now, everyone. Here are the numbers, the names, the badge numbers, and the police department for Coral Springs. And this is the complaint that you should file. This is a disgrace. Seriously. Matthew Anderson, Colby Hickman, Christopher Hummel. Those are the badge numbers next to their names. Call the Coral Springs Police Department at 719-444-7417 and email them at cspd.internalaffairs@coloradosprings.gov. When you call or email, say, "I am filing a complaint on officers, blah, 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 blah." Let them know how you feel about this situation, because clearly our lives are under attack every day. I don't care whatever they tell you. And also follow this page, Black Official Page on Instagram, with a V instead of a C. Now, I do want to get into this story about a Fayetteville woman who was killed while driving to church. She was a member of the Church of Christ, and she was killed on Country Club Drive while pulling into the parking lot there when she was hit. And it's been more than 2 years since the 57-year-old woman, Christine Harris, was hit and killed. And if I'm right, she was killed by a police officer who was driving in excess of 90 miles an hour, breaking the law when he crashed into her car. This was September.
I wonder if he's in jail.
He didn't even go to jail?
Oh, I know. I said I wonder if he went to jail.
Right. Let's hear some of this video and find out. Oh, come on with the
team of experts.
All right, so we just won't check that one out. we will check this one out instead. Unless there's an ad for this too. Because you know how YouTube does.
Paid advertising.
Right. Come on, y'all.
Trying to understand why this has happened.
2 years ago, Bill Harris's wife, Christine Harris, was killed when her car was hit by one driven by North Carolina Special Police Officer Jonathan Fanbro. The accident happened on Country Club Drive.
We're here announcing this lawsuit because she was tragically and unnecessarily killed by a police officer who was driving in excess of 90 miles an hour.
Wow. Where was he going?
When he crashed into her car.
The lawsuit claims Fayetteville police didn't pursue criminal charges against Fanbro because he was a fellow police officer. It claims there was no toxicology test or statement taken from the officer.
Our understanding and what we've been informed is that a statement was taken some weeks after the fact, and the investigating officer recalled that the gentleman was in a hurry to go get dinner.
Newly elected city councilman Mario Benavides was at the press conference. The deadly accident happened in his district.
I let my community know exactly what I was here to do once on council, and that's to change the status quo as it relates to public safety in this community, and that requires recognizing certain truths. And I think one of the biggest ones is that, the police cannot police themselves.
While Harris seeks justice through the court, he says there will not be closure.
I go to bed at nighttime and I look over and I don't see her there. I walk through the house. I don't hear a voice.
So you can imagine this has been an emotional time for Bill Harris, but he says his church and prayer are helping him deal with the grief. In Fayetteville, Gilbert Bays, WREL News.
Wow.
It's just tragic. It's just tragic. But this goes to show you the KKK cops don't rest. This is what they do, y'all. And they're not ever held accountable. This is why it's important, as they said, to police the police.
Right. 100%. We must advocate for ourselves and for others and for our community. Because if we don't, who else is going to?
Shamel Capers was at the wrong place at the wrong time when a young girl was fatally shot. Despite having nothing to do with her death, he was wrongfully convicted of murder, and based on false testimony, he spent 8 years in prison before being exonerated.
What? It took 8 years to go through the court system to finally let this man free, and he didn't do anything wrong? I mean, to be honest, that's like on the low end, because sadly enough, like in the world today, we're hearing inmates being freed after like 45 years, 50 years of being wrongfully imprisoned.
Despite being exonerated from prison after his murder conviction was overturned, 24-year-old Shamel Capers is upset. 8 years of his life was spent behind bars for a murder he didn't commit.
There was no other evidence. It's not like there were ballistic analysis. It's not there were fingerprints. There was nothing connecting Shamel to the shooting other than his presence at the scene.
On May 18, 2013, 14-year-old Deja Robinson was killed after a string of 10 bullets shot into a city bus where she was sitting. Kevin McClinton, Capers' co-defendant, fired the gunshots, according to police. McClinton was convicted of second-degree murder for the shooting. However, because Capers was at the scene of the shooting, he also was accused of pulling the trigger. The discovery of a false witness testimony led to Capers' charges being dropped. He says he's always maintained his innocence.
The evidence was just not there.
During an appeal, Capers' lawyer had the Queens District Attorney Conviction Integrity Unit re-examine the evidence and witness testimony in the case.
Both of those individuals who were cooperating witnesses recanted their statement. They said that that was not true what they testified.
Winston Pais, Capers' attorney, says the prosecution's over-reliance on a single witness testimony that later turned out to be not only false, but coerced into lying was the key evidence needed to free Capers. He now has a message for authorities who wrongfully convicted him.
Think about how my mother felt, my family felt, after all that time has been missed because of a mistake that they made.
Now a free man, Capers wants to shed light on the injustice he's faced. And a new book, urging others to be mindful of their surroundings and the people they're with.
That one place that you could be at the wrong time could just cost you everything.
Wow.
That's heavy.
This just breaks my heart. I know that this has been some pretty heavy stuff for y'all to hear today. And so we're going to break it up with a little bit of a commercial break here, y'all. Okay, so just bear with us and stay tuned. We will be right back.
Triumph. I am enough. Trial to triumph. I am enough. Every day I fight for my life. Every day fighting for my life. Thought was right. I think not. Bullets, concrete, pollution and vain, corruption, lies. Change the game. Refrain from damnation of illusionary confusion. Don't follow the illusion. Don't fall for the tricks. I don't miss it. This fight comes from the strife I gave. You can thrive. You are alive. You are alive. Radiate, y'all. If you haven't tried something new, do it. You can thrive. To the skies. Find what makes you smile and use it to free yourself from the troubles that arise. Go. Find what makes you smile and use it to free yourself from the troubles that arise. Find your strength.
All right, y'all. I want to show y'all this really quick. And then there's another story I think that we have to go through. And then we could just chill and talk really quick and decompress after all this stuff, because I know this has been pretty heavy. So just check this out really quick, y'all. Okay. Eric Cole was lying on the ground, wounded, when a police cruiser hit him. Eric's death could have been prevented if dispatchers had properly relayed details about his whereabouts and if medics were promptly informed about Eric being hit. This deadly negligence demands justice. And this comes via Attorney Crump's web page on Instagram. Check this out, y'all.
After his death, Eric Cole's family is still dealing with the pain of losing him.
All of us are still grieving in our own way. Like, I have my days. It was hard.
Even now, it's hard for the family to even describe the emotion of having to file a lawsuit in connection with his death.
Emotionally, I don't even know.
Cole was involved in an exchange of gunfire in a domestic dispute and called 911 after he was shot in the shoulder. He told dispatchers at one point he was in the street. Moments later, Springfield officer Amanda Rosales ran over Cole with her cruiser. The coroner ruled he died of blunt force trauma to his torso. In June, Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost announced a grand jury decided no one would face criminal charges in connection with Cole's death. In their lawsuit, family lawyers say the two Clark County dispatchers who spoke to Cole during his 911 call entered what he told them about being in the street into a system that displayed on Officer Rosales' in-car computer, but did not verbally relay the information to responding officers over the radio.
And if they had done so, he wouldn't have been run over, he wouldn't have been killed.
We checked today, and Officer Rosales is back on duty, and both dispatchers are still working for the sheriff's office. One of the family lawyers is prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump. Now he says he's contacting the DOJ to ask for a formal review.
Now we're going to formally request them to review it in writing.
This lawsuit is now moving toward a potential trial here in Clark County. We'll track its progress and let you know what happens. In Springfield, I'm John Vidal.
and the city of San Bernardino must be held accountable for the killing of Rob Adams. Rob was shot 7 times in the back as he was retreating.
Shot him in the back. If that's not an execution, I don't know what is.
Surrounded by family members of Rob Adams, the man shot and killed by San Bernardino police over the summer, attorney Ben Crump announced the filing of a $100 million lawsuit against the city.
You cannot come up in an unmarked police car and they run from you, and without identifying yourself, without having sirens on, and shoot them 7 times in the back.
It happened on Saturday, July 16th, around 8 o'clock at night in a parking lot on the 400 block of West Highland Avenue in San Bernardino. Police say officers in an unmarked unit were conducting surveillance when they spot Rob Adams with a gun. Officers get out of the car, Adams turns to run, and police open fire. Adams was taken to a hospital and was pronounced dead. At the time, San Bernardino Police Chief Darren Goodman released a video statement explaining what happened.
Officers briefly chased Adams, but seeing that he had no outlet, they believed he intended to use the vehicle as cover to shoot at them.
I don't want this for no other parent. This is hell on earth.
Rob Adams' parents also spoke today. His mother questions what some might see in this video, saying Adams wasn't holding a gun, but a cell phone. And she says she was actually on the phone with him when he was shot.
Wow. Oh my God.
He was in his spirits that day. He was celebrating about a car one of his cousins back here just bought. And then it just went blank and somebody else clicked in on the line. And they told me that it was being shot.
And we just want justice for our son, Rob Adams, because I'm hurt. And I'm never going to see my kids again, man. It hurts me bad.
San Bernardino police would not comment on the lawsuit.
7 times they shot him in the back. If that's not an execution, I don't know what is.
Surrounded by family members of Rob Adams, the man shot and killed by San Bernardino police over the summer, attorney Ben Crump announced the filing of a $100 million lawsuit against the city.
You cannot come up in an unmarked police car and they run from you, and without identifying yourself, without having sirens on, and shoot them 7 times in the back.
It happened on Saturday, July.
I just can't. Wow.
Guys and minds, we have the honor of representing the family of Rob Adams. We have present here with us his father, Robert Adams, and his mother, Tamika King, who will also address you. We're here to announce today, during this Christmas spirit, so that Tamika and Rob know that their son life matters, and he just won't be swept under the rug and be forgotten about. Today we announced the filing of a $100 million lawsuit against the city of San Bernardino Police Department for the wrongful death and the unjust execution of Rob Adams by the police officers.
I just can't stop
because you cannot
thinking
come up in an unmarked police car in plain clothes like you're a game.
I can't stop thinking about how this man was on the phone with his mother when he was killed, and they justified it that he was holding a gun.
Right. They're trying to say that it was a gun and it was a cell phone. Again, we hear this all the time.
If I'm in an open parking lot, if someone gets out of a vehicle with guns and starts shooting at me, what am I going to do? I'm going to run.
And try to hide.
How am I supposed to know that you're a cop?
Right. Did they announce themselves? I mean, why did they feel like they needed to shoot in the first place? Because he was looking at a car. Like, it wasn't no car hijacking or a murder suspect or, Rob, someone that was armed and dangerous.
I'm guessing that was his own car. Like, this just, man.
And what was his name again?
His name is Rob Adams. We covered this case back this summer. I remember this case because of the footage of the footage from the cameras. I remember this case in San Bernardino, but I never checked back to see what had came from it. I'm glad that Ben Crump picked up the case.
Yes, for sure.
It's now getting some recognition and some attention, and that money could go towards at least providing the family with some kind of comfort, and also maybe going back to the local community or providing a foundation, because $100 million is a lot of money. And they deserve to be awarded that, because this makes no sense whatsoever. And she could probably get proof from the dispatchers that she was on the phone with him when he was killed. They can look at the timestamps and listen to the audio of the call to prove that she was on the phone with him, to prove that it was indeed not a gun.
Right.
This is ridiculous. San Bernardino, California. Meg, how you feeling over there?
Man, I'm looking up stuff for Rob right now. I'm thinking I might reach out to his mama.
Right.
I just couldn't imagine, like, the inhumane shit that be going on right in front of our faces.
Oh, yeah.
Like 7 times, we had this conversation yesterday about excessive force and when is enough. With shout out to Chaz, but like we had spoke about, if somebody comes in our house and we shoot them because, they're a threat to us, but then like once you shoot them the one time, when do you stop? And I feel like that same mindset perspective needs to be used in all situations, especially with law enforcement, because we just, we repeatedly hear over and over again that, excessive force is used. And for what reason? What's the sole purpose to get something like Chad said? What's the sole purpose to get somebody when they're down?
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy.
So it's just sad, and I don't know how we can be the solution.
Right. Man, I'm feeling for the family. Yeah, definitely reach out and see what they'll say. Everyone, I don't know what else to say. These stories we just had to really get out and talk about. I know
we have to have these conversations.
Yeah. Sheesh.
And that's what brings awareness to these stories, is the fact that people can get uncomfortable and talk about it. I mean, it's definitely heavy on our hearts, but we have to not wear it, and just know that we have a purpose greater and bigger than ourselves could ever imagine. It's just to spread the word as a vessel.
And all the other cases from this morning that we covered as well, or today, wherever you are and watching and what time we're watching, but these cases all weigh heavy on our hearts. And now all these cases from this specific episode, we've got to add to our list and recap. We've been showing y'all recaps throughout the year, and so look out and stay tuned for all of those. We definitely do a lot.
We got a lot more coming.
We got a lot more coming, but sometimes we kind of forget all the stuff we do because we just keep going. News doesn't stop. However, some events are crucial to understanding the movement and where we need to be going. And so sometimes it's nice to look back and remind people of where we've been and what we were doing in case they missed it. So look out for the rest of the recaps for 2022 coming at you soon. Meg, is there anything you want to discuss further on here? I'm about to wrap up.
I don't think so. I think that everybody just got to stay warm today, be chill, calm, cool, collective with the fam, and love each other. Believe in something bigger than you.
All right, y'all. Have a blessed holiday.
You can thrive. You are alive. You are alive. Radiate, y'all. If you haven't tried something new, do it. You can thrive. To the skies. Find what makes you smile and use it to free yourself from the troubles that arise. Go. Find what makes you smile and use it to free yourself from the troubles that arise. Find your strength. I am free. The kind of free that will bring you focus.
But rather embraced through space, time nonetheless framed in dark matter, boundless in shame, fearless in name. Only you want to tame, switch lanes.